Okay, so continuing on here, as you can tell so far that this is creating one of these videos is a very labor intensive process. Basically, like I said before, listening to the audio, creating the slides as you listen to the audio, going back and previewing everything, making sure everything's going okay, checking out your animations, checking out your transitions, making sure everything works the way that it should. It is. No one said it was easy. Okay, I never said it. You could make one of these videos in 5 minutes. But that's the reason why you don't see everyone using these types of videos in their business. So, but if you do master this technique that I'm showing you here, you will soon find out the effects that a video like this can have on sales or in your business in general. So with that little rant out of the way here, let's go ahead and move on to the rest of the video. Let's go ahead and remember we just created this slide here. Now we've got a bunch of text slides coming up. So as you can see, this will probably go pretty quickly here. We're just going to be using transitions to bring this text onto the screen. So that should go pretty quickly. All right, so let's go back to the audio. Let me minimize my screen here and press play.
As a service and charge businesses a flat fee, while others choose to build and rank them in advance, either flip them or rent them out for long-term recurring income. I've spoken about this myself on several occasions, but it all...
Okay, so if you notice, Jamie basically just said, whether you offer web design as a service, or you flip websites for quick cash, or you just build websites, rank them, and rent them out for recurring income, okay, that's where we want to make a slide to basically show those three different types of web designers, okay? Because not everyone creates websites for the same reason. Some people design websites as a service. I started out doing this myself. Some people create websites, build them, rank them in the search engines, maybe even get them profitable, and then flip them to people who want to buy the website. Some people even build websites, rank them, instead of flipping them, they actually rent them out to people, okay? So I just want to list those three different things on the screen. So I'm going to go back to one of my text slides here, just duplicate it and bring it down, and I'm going to delete that little line of text there. So I'm going to put website design, website flipping, or the rent-a-site model. We're just going to delete this text down here. And now we're just going to line all this text up. So I'm going to go back to home and just select different sizes until everything lines up. And that looks pretty close. And we're going to leave all of this stuff the dark gray. And we're going to add a transition. So going to the transition tab. Again, dynamic content. And I guess we'll go with the Ferris wheel transition on this one. And we'll make it come in from the left. And you can see how that kind of comes in pretty slow. So to increase the speed of a transition, over here on the top right under duration, all you need to do is just change that to a lower number. So right now it takes 2 seconds for that transition to happen. I'd say a half a second is more like what we're looking for. Let's just type 0.5. And so that should be pretty quick now. So let's go ahead and just preview that. See how fast that comes onto the screen? Perfect. All right, so now let's go ahead and just continue on with the audio.
It all boils down to one thing: building local websites quickly. And if you build local websites, I am pretty sure you've asked yourself this very question.
So before Jamie goes any further there, basically he said it all comes down to building local websites quickly. That's what basically it all comes down to. It doesn't matter if you do web design, whether you flip websites or you just rent them out, it all comes down to you need to build websites quickly. So let's go ahead and create a slide for that. I'm going to duplicate a slide more similar to what we're looking for here, and then just drag it down. So we're just going to type building local websites, and then quickly in large blue letters. So we're going to make quickly pretty big here. We're going to go for something more like 88 or 96. I'm going to shrink down the text on the top there. That's pretty close there. We're going to make quickly a little bit bigger. And we don't have anything bigger than 96, so we're just going to type in a value here. 120 seems to be pretty close. I'll bring this down a little bit more. Try 38. That's pretty good. So now, I'm going to add a transition to this slide. And I think we'll go with the Ferris wheel again. And again, we'll up the duration to half a second. So now, let's just preview everything and see what it looks like so far. Okay, so one of the easiest ways to make money in local marketing is by selling a website to a local business owner. Whether you offer web design as a service, flip websites for quick cash, or rent out websites for recurring income, it all comes down to one thing: building local websites quickly. All right, so let's continue on with the audio.
Where on earth can I find some nice WordPress themes to use for my local client websites? In fact, you're not alone.
Okay, so Jamie has another sentence there we want to create a slide for. Basically, speaking from the listener's point of view again, saying, where can I find some great WordPress themes for my local websites? So let's create a slide for that. I'm just going to duplicate the last one, and we're going to type where to find good WordPress themes and for local clients. Or we could just put for local websites, doesn't really matter. So obviously we got to shrink that text down quite a bit. I'll have to say 80 is pretty close to what we're looking for here. And you just got to play with things until you get it to where you want it to be. And that looks pretty good right there. And we're going to shrink down the top line of text to right about there. Now, if you remember, we're speaking from the listener's point of view, so I like to use green when we do that. And we're just going to change the bottom line of text to a dark gray. There we go. So there's that slide for that sentence. Done. Again, now we just need to choose a transition. And I think we'll go ahead and just use a simple pan transition here. What we're going to do for the next 3 slides, what I like to do is make it, to keep the viewer engaged. I like to change the angles of the transition. So right now we'll have it pan up from the bottom. Okay. And we'll have it happen pretty quickly, half a second. And then in the next slide, we'll have it pan from the left or from the right. Then we'll have it pan from the right, or excuse me, from the left. So just to kind of give the effect that we're going all over the place here, okay? So let's go ahead and just move on to the next slide.
Myself and Peter receive emails on it.
I want to rewind this a little bit.
Split them or rent them out for long-term recurring income. I've spoken about this myself on several occasions, but it all boils down to one thing: building local websites quickly. And if you build local websites, I am pretty sure you've asked yourself this very question: where on earth can I find some nice WordPress themes to use for my local client website?
Okay, so that's where we are right now. So everything that he's about to say will be created in the next slide. So let's press play.
In fact, you're not alone there. Myself and Peter receive emails on a daily basis. Where can I find WordPress themes for local websites? Which is the best theme to use? Which themes are you using with your clients? And our usual response.
Okay, so basically Jamie's saying, well, you're not alone. We get this question all the time from other people, so you're not the only one asking this question. So let's create a slide to basically summarize that statement. So we're just going to say, you're not alone. We get this question all the time. So we're going to duplicate that, duplicate the last slide. And we're going to put in big letters, you're not alone. And we get this question all the time. Exclamation point. And I'm just going to shrink this text down a little bit, or quite a bit. And we're going to increase the you're not alone text. And that's about good. Actually, that's probably a little bit too big. We'll go down to 72 and we'll shrink this down a little more. That's about pretty close right there. And now don't forget we got to change the color. Go ahead and just use blue. And there we go. So if you remember, we're going to have it pan around from different directions. So for this transition, we're just going to keep it at pan, but we're going to change the effect options from the right. Okay. So now let's continue on with the audio. We've got a couple more slides to make until we get into some images and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and just press play.
This is to point people to check out the so-called big-name theme designers like StudioPress, Woo Themes, or even iThemes, because those are the themes we used to use.
Okay, so basically Jamie just said there, we used to tell people to use, themes from companies like StudioPress or Woo Themes or iThemes because those are the themes we used to use. Okay, so let's make a slide basically summarizing that. So we're going to duplicate the last slide, and we're going to say something like, we used to say, actually we're going to do something a little funny here. Check out and again, this will make sense when I'm done here in a minute. Shrink this text down a little bit. Get this text out of the way. I'm just going to copy this text, Control C, Control V, because we want a separate line. Actually, you know what? I can do it with the same line. Just go over here and we're going to type, we used to say. And we're going to make this text left justified, because we're going after a little different look here. And I'm going to shrink it down just a little bit, right about there. And now I want to add a little arrow that says insert premium theme company here. Let's take a look what we did. Yeah, insert premium theme company here. So we want to have it look just like that. So we're going to go to insert shapes, and we're going to choose the curved arrow somewhere here in this list of shapes. And let's see here. This should be good. Okay, so we're just going to click and drag it. And now we're going to go to format and just change the color and the line weight of this arrow so it's a little bit thicker. And now we're just going to add some text basically saying insert premium theme company here. Insert premium theme company here. And we actually use the Hand of Sean font for this text. So we're going to go select Hand of Sean. And we're going to change the color so it's a little bit lighter of a gray. And change the size so it's about 16. And I'm going to change the color of that arrow just a little bit. Actually, we'll change the color of the text. Okay, so basically there's that slide. What you can do here, let's take a look and see what I did on the original video. I'm just going to press play and watch this animation. Okay, so basically I had the we used to say pop up on the screen, then I had check out, and then we had this kind of bounce onto the screen here. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do something different instead of using a transition here. So we're going to just go up here, select this text here. We're going to go to animations, and we're just going to have it fly in. Okay? And you can choose effect options. You can have them come in all at once as one object, or you can do like that by paragraph. We're going to have it come in by paragraph. And let's see, we'll go ahead to the animation pane and we'll add some bounce to it. And the timing should be pretty good. And then we'll just have this text here with the arrow bounce in. So we'll add a bounce animation to it. and we'll have it happen with previous. So let's take a look and see what that looks like. Pretty good. All right, so this video is getting pretty long, so we're going to stop it, and we're going to continue on in the next video on creating this video.